In this video, I'm going to be making a tier list of every single operating system that is currently supported by every single company. So first, let's start out with Android 12. So I'm going to list the C tier. My reasoning is because still not perfect like as iOS is. Android is really fragmented, it is really insecure, and privacy is not a priority in Android. It is also really hard to learn, and not everyone uses the same Android operating system, which means that compatibility between the ecosystem is not great at all. A lot more customizable, but it's really hard to customize, like not the average person's gonna customize your Android, so I'm actually gonna move this to D tier. Also, it's less secure, Chrome OS. So I'm gonna put this in C tier. Yes, Chrome OS is very restrictive of what you can do, but it's a lot easier to learn than like Mac OS or even Windows. Eventually, Chrome OS is going to be irrelevant as more and more people use computers, so there are still some people in this world that don't know how to use computers. It's going to be in C tier. So Wear OS is basically the Watch OS of Google. Wear OS is basically just D tier, mostly because it's not as good as Watch OS is. I have not used Watch OS myself, but what I've seen puts it down in D tier, and it's not as good as Watch OS is. Linux. Alright, I am gonna put this in B tier, mostly because it's good for programmers and stuff like that. It's a lot more customizable than Mac OS or Windows, and also you can like mod the operating system if you know how to do it legally. Linux is also open source. In fact, Chrome OS and Android and Wear OS is all based off of Linux. Let's move on to the Windows operating systems. Let's start with the oldest one, Windows 8.1. I'm gonna put it down to F tier, mostly because it's not optimized for the mouse. It should have been optimized for the mouse. Just imagine macOS Big Sur on an iPad. Next, let's move on to Windows 10. Windows 10 is a big step up from Windows 8.1. It's a lot more optimized for the mouse, but it's pretty unstable in my opinion, and the UI just doesn't look that great, so I'm gonna put this with Chrome OS in C tier. Alright, Windows 11. This is also gonna go in C tier, mostly because it's basically a reskin of Windows 10. Most of the features in Windows 11 were stolen from Big Sur. Now we have all the Apple operating system stuff. I'm gonna start off with the oldest, macOS Catalina. I'm gonna put this in C tier, mostly because I didn't really like the Mac from pre-Cat, because the issues that they had, those issues have been resolved nowadays. Still, macOS Catalina is mainly for Intel Mac, plus the UI does not look as good as Big Sur's or Monterey's. Continue with macOS Big Sur, A tier. It's not as productive as macOS Monterey is. macOS Big Sur is a big step up from Catalina, mostly because if you have an M1 Mac like me, you can actually run iOS apps. You can like run Among Us on a Mac. Let's go on to macOS Monterey. It's an S tier, mostly because SharePlay. We're still waiting on universal control. That will be insane. And next, HomePod OS 15. B tier, mostly because Siri, smart speaker, and the sound quality is really great. Watch OS 8, because Apple Watch is iPhone on your wrist, basically. tvOS 15. tvOS it didn't have a lot of features different from tvOS 14. Alright, iOS 15. A tier, because iOS 15 is not as smooth as iOS 14 was, and also did not have a lot of features. I like the SharePlay feature. Is pretty much the only selling point of iOS 15. Basically that's pretty much it. Now iPadOS 15, that goes directly in S tier. iPadOS 15 was a big step up from iPadOS 14. I used iPadOS 14 before, but it was basically just iPadOS 13, but iPadOS 15 brings all the iOS 14 features and iOS 15 features, so now up to date with both of these. So this is my tier list. This tier list will be in the description down below. You can make your own if you wanted to. Let me know in the comments down below where you would put everything. Please subscribe and like and share this video with your friends. Let me know why you agree or disagree with this list, and see you in the next video.